guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? Happy Monday. Good to see you. I'm back. If you didn't know, I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're here for justice for Madeline Soto. So, as you come in, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can. All right, guys. So, today we're going to talk about, well, first of all, let's say we want justice for Maddie, obviously. All right. So we got to remember why we're here. Many times we get lost in the details of a case, right? So we start hearing Stern's bold court demands were one. Most of them were one. Unfortunately, wants nice clothes, pen, and no shackles. Hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. So we'll talk about that for a minute. We're going to listen together. I have a little bit of like 26 minutes of the audio, much better. And at the end, we'll deal with it. I also have the PDF ordering the order that denied defendant's motion to suppress evidence. So I want to go over that before we get into too much today. What's up, everyone? Good to see you. Missed you. Today's a humbling day, guys. It's a humbling day because there's a lot going on in the YouTube streets, and I'd rather not know about it. I'm here doing my thing. I really want to see this case through and see justice for Maddie like we have since day one. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. It's just gotten a lot bigger. So what's up? Good to see you. Lisa Lynn. Hello, my friend. Hello. I see a lot of people in green. Lisa, maybe we'll give some memberships and get you in there. Kina, hello. Allie Kelly, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you got to stay focused and determined because we do want justice for Maddie. And I don't know if Jenn Soto is ever going to get arrested. We don't know. We do have people on the other side of the coin, believe it or not, that think that Jenn Soto was just a dumb potato and didn't know any better. All right. So all sides are welcome today. You guys can get spicy in chat, but please just be respectful to me and to others. You guys can talk about whatever you want. Just be classy. Act like you're hanging out with some classy folks, because that's what we strive to do here. We don't want to be, too out of sorts. We joke around. Obviously, we know this is for Stinky Stearns, right? Because today we're covering Stearns, but we still got to remember justice for Madeline Soto and all the things that comes in between. Jennifer says hello from Scottsdale, Arizona. And Michelle, hashtag arrest Jenn Soto now. Now, let me tell you something. Jenn Soto, I didn't even realize that she is subpoenaed for this CSAM and also the capital charges for Stefan taking Maddie's life. So I did not know that. I didn't realize that. I wasn't very certain, but I found out. Ignorance is not an excuse. Neglectful is neglectful. All right. Nonsense. Her and Stefan were matching pair before they found Stefan's phone. They both changed. Yeah, we have strong opinions over here, and some people don't agree with those opinions, which is okay. But you don't have to agree with us. You can agree to disagree in a very respectful manner. There's always three sides to something: yours, theirs, and whatever's in the middle. What's up, Nancy Jean? Good to see you, my friend. Stefan Stearns is looking for a Mont Blanc pen. Well, that's not going to happen. So we're going to hear all that today. Let me give you a few notes. Let me give you a few notes from somebody that messaged me in that area, was in court today, and they said this. They said Stefan did win a little bit. They got the Osceola News Gazette removed from the courthouse during jury selection and trial. All right, this person spoke with the editor of the paper, and he said they're not going to pursue fighting it. He also did not want to use a court appointed pen that all the other defendants are, and so now he's using a felt tip pen. All right, the newspaper did get removed because Stefan is always making the headlines there in Florida, and they don't want it to be biased. So the actual reporter slash editor did not get removed. That person will be there. All right, the judge also rules the media, including social media, YouTube, etc., will be allowed in the courtroom, but no use of cell phones, no pictures, no recording during trial. So we'll talk about the motions. Stefan is, in fact, getting new clothes. He did get a DKNY charcoal summer weight. He got a wool suit. So he's going to come in with a charcoal suit, nice dress shoes, white or light blue shirt with leg shackles, no handcuffs. All right. So I do think, and that's my opinion. This is my opinion 110%. I do think with every fiber of my being that if the prosecution offers a plea, that Stefan Stearns is going to take it. All right. Now, you know me. I try to give educated guesses, meaning I collect my information, take it in, see what's happening, and then that's where I come up with it. And I'm going to say this: if the prosecution offers a plea deal, I think Stefan Stearns is going to take it. I can't really tell you why just yet, but just let's say that it's probably in his best interest to take the plea deal and then face the death penalty on the next trial. Shorty Pie says, Jay, you're back. Darn, YouTube didn't notify me. I know a lot of people didn't get notifications today. Chris says, at this point, I only believe the evidence with tracking and all the video of Stearns driving. I don't even believe any of the story they came up with. Agreed. Chris, that story, in my opinion, was very scripted to get them out of there. We had a guy take a pen out on himself in court. Wow, Panda Ann. He strangles victim to death, but no handcuff. Yeah, right? Interesting. So there were some wins today for him, but when it doesn't matter if he's facing LWOP or the death penalty, Stefan Stearns is never going to walk around to be a free man again, guys. All right. So the person that went in court, let me know about that. And then I also want to see the defense motion. I wanted to see the defense motions. There's a ton of them. So I won't be going through all the motions today. That probably won't even matter if it's a plea deal. If they take a plea deal, I think we're all going to feel side swiped, so to speak, guys. A complete side swipe. Like, wait a minute. We were over there waiting for the jury and we want to know. But guys, I really would prefer not to cover the CSAM. I want to cover it, but if there's not one, I'm not going to be upset that I don't have to read the documents with all the charges again and everything bad that happened to Maddie. The one charge of I think the one charge for taking Maddie's life is going to knock him out to the death penalty. And with the death penalty, there's no more root beer barrels, no more hot weekly meals. There's no more of a lot of things, guys. So let's pray for whatever it is that you want. Again, we don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree. Just be civil. All right. Nah, thank you so much. I thought you weren't going to be here today for the one guilty of crime membership. All right. Now, everybody has different reasoning. Michelle says no plea deal. I say I think they're going to take a plea deal, whether anybody likes it or not. Jean says, hello, guilty of crime and crew. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Foxy sent you a message. Patricia, you got your Foxy box. Thank you. We're giving away a Foxy box this month, guys. It's July. It's my birthday month, and all of yours that have let me know you're in the summertime. So Cancers and Leos, happy birthday month. All right. Good to see you guys. He gets watch all the pictures. Yeah, that's the thing, Janet, is he does get all the evidence. And I'm wondering, will he get that or has he gotten it? He's talked about reading Maddie's reading her autopsy. He has had access to Maddie's autopsy report and several other reports. I don't know what access he has to the images, but we do know that he did look over the COD. He mentioned something about the cause of death in one of the emails, guys. And I got to tell you, he also saw that the cause of death didn't show that Maddie was pregnant. So there, even though we haven't seen it in court yet, it's there and he certainly has access to it. And I wouldn't have done that, but I guess that's the justice system, all right? All right, guys. So let's keep going. Good to see everybody under the mystic moon. What's up? All the mods, thank you for being here. A lot of people are saying no plea deal, but you know what? I think we're going to all feel that way once we get sideswiped and it happens. I just can't understand how they're going to be ready for trial under the circumstances that we're talking about. All right, I'm hoping for a plea deal because I don't want anyone to see the photos. I'm going to be older than dirt on the 29th. Nope, not today. Patricia says, Jay, a plea deal is the best thing. He'll have to waive his right to appeals. It will be lock him up and throw away the key. And then he'll roll right into the capital M case. Patricia, thank you for stating your opinion. I feel the same way. I don't want to have to read those reports. I will do it, but I certainly will be happy when we're covering other cases and helping more victims. All right. So, Maddie, we're still here for you. We're going to be here for you in the long haul. Chris says they are not ready. They won't be ready. And that's the thing. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. I'm trying to tell you that they're not ready and they won't be ready. And just hearing from behind the scenes, Stefan's probably going to take a deal. All right. And it doesn't matter what inside information I have. I'm giving as much as I can to you, and any other creator on YouTube would take that information and share it if they could as well. All right. So when people say, oh, you don't know that. All right. So let's get started. Justice for Madeline. It's not like we didn't start, but first I'm going to show you the media coverage of the rules that were set for Stefan in the upcoming trial. We're going to play a quick clip and then I'm going to show you I'm going to go over the order that denied the defendant's motion to suppress evidence from the Google search warrant. And the reason why that matters is because it's going to show you that nobody's ready for this trial and the judge is pushing it, which is going to force the prosecution to come up with a good plea deal that everyone will be happy with. Now, who are they going to ask? You guys tell me, who would they possibly ask when the only person that's really been there is Tyler and Tatiana? Do you think they're going to ask Jennifer Soto? I don't think so. I forgot to even tell you that. I didn't even let you know that Jennifer Soto is absolutely subpoenaed. So she will have to attend. And if she's subpoenaed, testify in the CSAM trial and the capital M case. All right, guys. So I want you to realize that, and I'll show you why. All right. So I'm going to do that today. Let's start with the media coverage rulings, and then we'll go to there. So stop that. Let's share this and show you partial of him walking in. I have the whole thing. A lot of it, like I said, is hard to hear, but we're going to do our best with the first portion of it. All right, let's go. Let me zoom a little in again. All right.
Stefan Stearns was back in court today as the judge heard 3 motions on his upcoming sexual abuse trial.
All right, so 3 motions on the CSAM trial. I'm going to play this at normal speed just because I just want you to hear the few things that they're talking about, and that was him today.
The defense first asking to remove newspapers from the courthouse lobby, which they say could potentially taint the jury pool.
The newspapers constantly indicate that there's both a sex case that is currently pending, which is what we're here for this morning, as well as a capital murder case.
That motion was granted along with a reminder for media to follow the rules of the courtroom.
So that is good news, guys. For us, it's good news because the media can be in the trial that's starting July 22nd. They predict, guys, that this trial is only going to last 4 days after they pick the jurors. So it's supposed to start July 22nd. they should have the jury picked by July 25th, which is my actual birthday. It's a birthday month for you guys. I see you in chat here. And then 4 days later, the whole trial is going to be over. That's what they predict. Mo, thank you for becoming a member for 6 months. I never understand why they split the trials to begin with. Any insight? Let me take a deal and waste away in prison, in my opinion, better than the death penalty. Well, guess what, Mo? He's facing both. He's facing LWOP and the death penalty. And the reason they split the cases is because it was two separate things. I understand what you're saying, but they're completely different things. All right. All right, I check my mailbox every day to see if I have a jury notice. Nothing yet. Kelly, thank you, Kelly. My girl, member for 3 months. All right, Dolly isn't going. I doubt he's going. It might not even happen. I do feel bad if he gets his tickets and can't go. All right, let's keep listening here. So, good news for us. I think Stefan's happy about not having to wear, obviously, be shackled head to toe, but I don't know that we're going to make it there.
Stearns is accused of raping and killing 13-year-old
Yep.
Madeline Soto. For this trial, his lawyers asked to allow him to appear without restraints. The judge deciding a leg brace will be worn that won't be visible but restricts movement.
Basically, what happens is when the person sits, it bends, but when they stand up, it just locks and it prevents the person to run away. They would have to essentially hop away because that leg is stiff.
Stearns is facing a separate murder trial in September. In this case, the state will be going through pictures and video found.
So they're still going to be using lots of pictures, lots of video. Jenn Soto is going to be subpoenaed for both of those. Again, Jenn Soto has not ever been arrested. The only person that's ever said anything about hashtag arrest Jenn Soto are all the people on this channel and some others, right? There are channels out there that support Jenn Soto, and that's their opinion. That's fine. Jay, it's my birthday too, the 23rd. Well, happy birthday month, Gene P, and everybody else out there. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Get one of those memberships if you can. Thank you. All right. Get a membership. Go to Ghost. Go check that out. It's real cool. We post on there all the time. I think Jen's day is coming too, but she has not been arrested. We're going to be happy just to see her in court, I think. And welcome, Rebecca Michelo. I've missed you. Good to see you. I just got back in town. All right. And thank you, Nancy Jean, for being a member for 9 months. Show your appreciation. My niece, Allie B Day, July 20th. 20th is going to be a good day. July is going to be a good month. Half of it's over. All right. Let's keep going.
On his cell phone that they say link him to 60 counts of sexual battery and abuse. With sensitive material, prosecutors say they're taking extra measures.
Actual videos and photos and things, the state intends to utilize the whiteboard in an effort to prevent other individuals that do not need to see that evidence.
All right. So we'll see what happens with that. We just heard that there's a few things that were won. We'll listen to it after we take a look at, and again, everything is in my, I'll move that. Everything is in my description, so you can go over and watch whatever you need to. Truth Finder, thank you for becoming a member to YouTube. I appreciate you. I don't know who you are, but hopefully we get to know you a little bit more sooner or later. All right, so this is actually not the one I want because I want you guys to be able to see it. So let me pull this up and share my screen. Stop screen. It's pretty cool, the new StreamYard. I don't know who knows or who has it, but let me know what you think. All right, so let's just take a look at this so you can see what is happening on July 22nd to the 25th, and then 4 days later. This is the bulk of the case. State of Florida versus Stephen Michael Stearns, and this was what got pulled out, denying defendant's motion to suppress evidence obtained from Google search warrant. All right, and we know we just got the ruling last week. I wasn't able to show this to you. I did get the documents and a ton of other motions to share with you. At this point, it's just kind of a waste to spend time on that. I think going back might be later. All right. What's up, Faith and Repentance? Good to see you. Thank you for hitting the like button and being part of the crew. Leanne, thank you for being a crew for 7 months. Amazing. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. All you guys so much. Good to see you. I've missed you guys. I couldn't see my messages when I was streaming the other way very well. So thank you. All right, so let's take a look at this. You'll see what this is. This is what's coming up in the trial. This is what is going to be the major point, the major focal point here. This matter came before the court, filed on February 26, 2025. April 29th, 2025, the court reviewed the motion to state's response, the arguments presented at the hearing. April 23rd, 2025, the court filed, and being otherwise fully advised of premises, finds as follows. Their analysis ruling: defendant contends that all evidence obtained through Google warrant must be suppressed. To support his claim, the defendant makes three main arguments. Number one, Google warrant relied entirely on illegally obtaining evidence. Defendant first asserts that law enforcement exceeded the scope of Mr. Stern's initial consent, retained his phone without proper authorization, and conducted a coerced midnight download. Interesting, because law enforcement used the information extracted from the searches to support the application for Google warrant. Defendant alleges that state cannot justify the warrant under any attention or independent source doctrine because the warrant was built entirely on tainted evidence and intentional misconduct. Defendant concludes that the evidence must therefore be suppressed as fruit of a poisonous tree. That sounds like an interesting episode name. What's up, guys? Good to see you. Can I say it was discovered organically and not illegally? Bread, good one. I'm going to keep that up just for you. I appreciate that. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Nath and Foxy just gifted another membership. Thank you, Nat. Thank you, Foxy, for that 420 membership. And yes, organically. I love that. I love that. And thank you, Foxy. I appreciate you and all you that are here to support the channel. All right, let's keep going because I want you to know this is the major contention. This is the big piece right here. This is the piece of the puzzle. Justice for Madeline Soto, guys. That's what we're here for, is justice for Maddie. All right, the defendant fails to establish that his searches were coerced or otherwise improper. Wow. The evidence makes clear that the defendant willfully and voluntarily unlocked his cell phone and gave it to Detective Tagler on multiple occasions and unequivocally consented to them viewing map data and documenting his search history. After Detective Tagler asked if a warrant is needed, defendant nevertheless consented during interviews. Most importantly, defendant gave consent to law enforcement to download the cell phone and go through the phone. A reasonable person under the circumstances would understand the scope of consent to include access to all. All right. Contents that were searched in this case, including call history and GPS data during interviews with law enforcement. Defendant was free to leave. Consequently, defendant freely and voluntarily consented to the searches, and law enforcement did not exceed the scope of the defendant's request. The state is therefore correct in its response that law enforcement relied on information properly obtained during consensual searches of defendant's cell phone to support the affidavit for the search warrant. Consequently, the warrant at issue was not tainted and it was not constitutionally invalid as the fruit of illegal searches. All right. Number two, the warrant application fails to establish probable cause. All right, let's check in with you guys, see if you're still here. I know some of you guys like it when I talk to you in the lower voice where I'm not all hyped up, so I'm trying not to yell at you guys today. Mo said, watch the first 48 yesterday where it was like, yeah, check the phone and the detective found evidence right there. It's legal AF. Well, this is what this case is hanging on, are most of those pictures. Now, there's 222 people in here. Say a prayer that Maddie gets complete and utter justice. I think sometimes we forget why we're here. And I don't want to forget why we're here. All right. All right, let's keep going. A magistrate is not required to leave common sense at the courthouse door when I love that. Not required to leave common sense at the courthouse door when evaluating whether a supporting affidavit satisfies the nexus element and supports a finding of probable cause. All right. Then they reference State versus Williams. Here, the affidavit for search warrant for defendant's Google account provided a sufficient basis for the court to determine that evidence related to we know it's CSAM, all right, we're going to go past that, would likely be found on defendant's Google account. Specifically, the affidavit points to the fact that defendant factory reset his cell phone day the same day Maddie was last seen. Detective Heller also indicated that interviews of defendant were conducted and that defendant consented to a search of his phone. During the search, several files of CSAM involving Maddie were located. Further, the affidavit stated that the defendant's images were stored and backed up on his Google account. Additionally, the affidavit further describes that evidence related to interference of child custody was contained within defendant's Google account. Detective Heller detailed Maddie was reported missing by her mother on February 26, 2024. Defendant had stated that he dropped Maddie off at Peace United Methodist at 8:40 a.m., although classes did not start until nearly an hour later. However, a license plate reader captured defendant's vehicle, tagged traveling from Hunter's Middle School at 8:10 a.m. Maddie never showed up to school. The state is correct that in the time the warrant application was filed, it was probable that other information on defendant's cell phone prior to the factory reset was backed up to his Google account, such as GPS data, which was described in the affidavit for a search warrant. Based on this ample evidence, which was relevant to probable criminality located on his phone, likely located, the warrant application sufficiently established the nexus element. Consequently, the warrant application was backed by substantial evidence satisfying both prongs of Sanchez defendant's claim that the warrant failed to establish probable cause. All right. So, I mean, they're doing all the right things. I wonder what they're doing now. All right. I wonder what they're doing now. SS lies right. What are they doing now? All right. And we're going to get into this, guys. I know Stern's bold court demands were one, most of them. We're going to look at that here when we're done. So if you came in or you left, hit the like button on your way in or on your way out. All right. We're not doing this the whole time. I just want you guys to understand and to document what happened here. Right. Defendant further argues that the warrant was overbroad. We now know it's not. It's time frame for searches. The warrant permitted the search from January 1st, 2020 to present. That's crazy. That was years to present, yet according to defendant provided no factual basis for expansive 4-year period. However, the courts often note that we're going to call it CSAM collectors. So they did this under a circumstance, guys, of CSAM collectors maintaining their materials for significant periods. And they cited this case. So they knew that it wasn't going to be just this week to this week. They figured it would be far back. And that's what they did. It was an individual that fell in this category, given the material that was his stepdaughter, and it was located on the phone and backed up on his Google account. Accordingly, the warrant is not tainted for having an overbroad temporal scope. The court also notes that the warrant affidavit was not overly reliant on generalized and boilerplate language about Google services. The state is correct that the implementation of standard language in the search warrant related to the operations of Google LLC is helpful and relevant in the affidavit. The boilerplate language was accompanied by ample case specific information. All right, we're almost done. I'm not going to read the whole thing. The last thing was the warrant lacked required, particularly for digital services associated with Google. This is a little bit in the weeds of things. I'm not going to get into that. It's a lot of citing, and then they should be talking about CSAM, but they don't. Good faith exception. The good faith exception applies. So law enforcement did not provide any false or misleading information ordered by a judge. The warrant is denied, signed by Honorable Keith Karsten, Circuit Court Judge, signed, dated July 1st, 2025. Now we're 13 days later, and the trial is going to start soon. All right, so let's get back to this, and we can pull this down. Denied. Nothing about that was wrong. All right. Now, thank you so much for gifting the membership. We have 204 people in chat. I hope somebody that wants a membership gets it. Thank you so much, Nat. I appreciate you. All right. Now we're going to go over this the Stearns, Florida man accused of taking Maddie's. He appears in court 26 of the minutes, and then we'll go to the next part of it, only because the sound is terrible. All right, good to see you guys here. Thank you for being here. I cannot wait to hear what happens in this case. I really do. I am hoping for a plea deal. Maybe I'm being selfish when I say I don't want to have to read this or see it, and I don't want the judges I don't want the family to have to deal with this. Thanks, Synth. I'm sorry, I have no filter. Just gifted a guilty of crime membership. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, Faith and Repentance, we need to get you a membership. And Millie Rivera, good to see you, my friend. You just got gifted a membership. Thank you. Nat says, much love. Much love, y'all. Much love. All right, let's watch this guy, Stephen Stearns, walk into the courtroom and see what happens here. All right, where is it? We'll start here.
Danielle Pennell and William J.
This is the best I have, too. Wait, I think this one's it. Hold on. Let me make sure this is today, 9 hours ago. Yep. All right, there he is. Make sure this is the right one. I'm sure it is.
We're here on 3 preliminary trial matters.
Mhm.
Scheduled for 1 hour.
It's so low, guys.
I don't have a preference on
Hold on.
handle your motions. Would you like to address first? Mr. Johnson, my apologies.
No problem. Tagging on the first motion, Alex Johnson for the defense. We'd like to address defendant's motion to remove newspapers from the courthouse.
Motion to remove newspapers, guys. I know it's hard to hear, but that's why we're going to go over it.
For this motion, the defense did have remarks this morning. I would move it into evidence as one. It's been remarked today. A copy of the Osceola News.
I don't even know why you're right. Why are they wasting taxpayers if they're going to take a plea deal? Because we're all going to feel like a slap in the face when we go to watch the trial on the 22nd and see the jury selection. We're going to feel real upset after going through all of this. And yeah, for you in Florida there, I'm sorry you guys have to waste taxpayers' dollars. Yeah, it's horrendous. This is the best one I can find so far, but we're just going to watch and listen. I'll talk to you guys while we're doing it. Thank you guys for being here and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. All week long, I have new episodes with new cases, guys. They're not even showing what he's saying, by the way. No, they're not offering a plea deal on both. Right?
State has no position here.
Thanks. We received the defense 1 for purposes of this.
I'm going to make sure it's regular because it's already hard enough to hear. And this is the better audio, guys. But we're just going to go through the motions with them. What's up, guys? We're 100%. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. I agree with you on that. I think every person.
The reason now the motion to continue. The
Hold
trial
on.
is set to begin next week in this courtroom. And as jurors, potential jurors, and jurors that are selected in the trial walk into the courthouse right in front of security or right beyond security.
They're not really talking about much at all.
Including newspapers like the Osceola News.
So right now they're trying to get the Osceola News taken out. I'll just kind of talk to you. There's no plea deals at all, guys. I want you guys to have the complete and utter context. There's been no plea deal offered to anyone for anything. As a matter of fact, the capital M case with the death penalty, I absolutely believe that they're going to go forward with that trial. But I got to tell you, I don't think they're going to go with the CSAM stuff. I think they're going to offer a plea. And if they offer a plea, I think Stefan's going to take it. All right. So nobody has offered a plea deal yet. I'm just talking about what I think is going to happen with my educated guess. All right. And I just showed you the evidence of the motions that were denied, and they were barely denied on the first. That's given them 13 days, not including the weekends, to get a case together. The prosecution is not ready and the defense is not ready. All right. So you use your judgment on that. Summer Dawn says the guy who delivers produce to the restaurant is Stephen Stearns' doppelganger. He asked me like 2 weeks ago why I didn't like him, and I showed him a picture of Stearns. That's funny. All right, let's keep going. They're talking about the news right now. That got kicked out.
Over by the employee area, is it where the general public would come in?
It's where the general public comes in. It's
Let me see if
so
I
if you're
can.
looking at the first floor, there's the area where you go to the elevators, and then there's the mirror there.
Yes.
It's the table's right in front of that. Security glass.
Progress screens.
Yeah, exactly.
It's on. I don't know why you can't hear it. I got the
I have
words.
inquired as to
Okay.
our court administration who provides the newspapers. I think that's a county function.
So he's got 2 trials, so if he does a plea deal, then the next trial we can roll into. So they're saying no newspapers.
So your motion is preliminarily granted.
They granted his motion right then and there.
Parties that provide the newspapers not to do so during the jury selection or trial process.
They can't do it during jury selection, and but bam, that's it. No newspapers during jury selection. So what about Karen Reed?
Yes, Judge. Defenses would next like to proceed on the defense's motion to order all media to adhere to the rules of judicial administration.
Shannon K, shout out to you. Hello.
Judge, defense is asking, according to, as the rules require, that the media, and since
Yep.
defense is on the left side of this courtroom, and the media is positioned directly behind us, their cameras intentionally inadvertently, I'm not saying that
The captions are on, my friend. They are on. They're at the bottom.
So in positioning counsel's computer screen,
Unless I could move them.
in view of the media, so defense is requesting that the media not be allowed.
I put it at the top.
Look at, zoom in on.
Okay, guys, I put the captions at the top. I moved them from the bottom to the top. I'm also talking to you through this just to let you know what's happening. All right, Don Grandma 3, thank you so much, my friend. Big hugs to you for the Guilty of Crime membership. All right, there we go. I moved it. Thank you.
Or otherwise project essentially onto counsel's table because of work product and attorney-client
Exactly, Mo.
confidentiality.
Exactly.
We have to essentially affirmatively attempt to protect it. And when we have communications, we do mute the mic. However, because the table is so large and facing, it's just asking the media not.
You're welcome, everybody. I love you guys. Thank you for being here.
On our computers or our computer screen, under the administrative order, it says that communications between attorneys and their clients, between counsel and co-counsel, or anything that's held at the event is required not to be recorded or broadcasted. So defense's position that anything that is occurring essentially at counsel's table in terms of notes, whether that be handwritten notes or computer.
Thank you, Ali Callie.
That the defense has taken affirmative steps to have a privacy screen and additionally dimming the lighting on the laptops. However, even with that, it still is doable for the media, and sitting in court with dim screens and dark lights.
Thank you so much.
But also to protect not only Mr. Stern's confidentiality, but potential other clients' information who we're working on while hearing court. Look at zooming in on computers or counsel's.
All right, so I put them up there.
Have a position. However, I think if the court is going to issue an order, it needs to be everybody in the courtroom, not just specifically.
They are not easy to cover, guys. Thank you.
Well, in terms of media personnel or anyone not being able to.
There's a lot of amateur media people that will cover this trial, and they use phones, from my experience in other high-profile trials. So the order should be broad enough that it covers everybody in the courtroom, perhaps even an order that people in the gallery should not be allowed to have their phones out during the trial. Yeah. Sometimes they need daily reminders. Sometimes they need multiple daily reminders, but they also focus on the state's computer, and we are obviously against that for the same reasons.
No objections to that. You can see it at the top there.
The media has been a good one. They're an essential.
Thank God, right? We get to keep on doing it. We get to keep on streaming, you guys. Yes, they are the best mods in the house. Amateur media people.
Here, I know that your coordination with witnesses, with each other, with presentation, with evidence is highly computerized.
You should have heard the other channel.
That the media will comply with Florida Rule of Judicial Administration 2.450, as well as our Administrative Order 2023-23.
I cannot imagine having to represent that garbage, right?
Fairly specific.
Truth sleuth.
Indicates that.
I'll pause it for a second, guys, and say, yeah, I gotta admit, the defense attorneys, I think, are doing the best job that they can. I don't think they're ready at all, and I think at the drop of a dime, they will take a plea deal. I know Stefan probably will. Truth Sleuth, thank you so much for the $3 super sticker. I appreciate you. All right, amateur reporters. I don't know if he's talking about YouTubers or TikTokers or social media, but we're all little amateur sleuthies. Thank you. And thank you, One Love Revolutionary. My mom says, hey, she missed you. Hey, Mama. Thank you, Kel. I appreciate you.
I've done several trials where the media was involved. The only violations of 2.450 in our administrative order, in my opinion, have been inadvertent.
Thank you, my friend. Kel just gifted a membership, guys.
Issues were when a camera operator perhaps went to a wide shot that included faces of the jurors.
Yeah, they want to make sure they don't get jury faces. Cat H, justice for Maddie.
After the microphones had been apparently muted by the attorneys. These are technical issues. We have a technical.
You're having a technical issue now, my friend.
To coordinate with.
Hey, Sherry.
The administrative rule gives the media an opportunity to meet with our court.
All right, so I'm going to do a poll. Who thinks the state will agree to a plea deal? I'm going to do a poll. Anna, you need to be green. He's talking about cell phones, and I know, he's speaking so low. He's talking about the details. We're getting caught in the details here. All right, I'm going to do a poll right now, guys. Love you too, Gene. Mwah.
Contact my office. I will direct them.
I'm going to do a poll for you.
Provide a copy
Hold on.
of the administrative rule, which I'm sure they are most familiar, and
Speak up, Judge. Fix your system, please. This was the best one. All right. Text poll. Will.
Do you anticipate presenting any witnesses
Offer.
Restraints?
The state just has one.
Plea deal.
Richard Rizzo.
Yes and no. All right, let's see. That's fun. We're going to do that. I'm posting it right now. All right, go. Let's share it. All right, I just did a poll, guys. Here's the poll in chat. You guys can go over there, right? Go ahead and go over to the poll and say yes or no. Thank you again, Gene. And Redondo Beach, member for 1 month. There's no amateur media. First Amendment for all. Agree. You could tell Stefan didn't get a haircut again. He just left it. He's trying to grow it out.
Will you spell your first and last name for the record?
The plea deal.
Hold on. R-I-C-A-R-D-O. Last name is Rosario.
If they have CSAM of more than one child.
How long have you been employed as a court deputy?
I'm going to pause it real quick because there's a couple questions I wanted to answer that's going really fast. Bev, they absolutely have more children in the images. They spoke about that before. We've gone through so many documents, and they absolutely have CSAM from other children. I don't know if it was, you give whoever you're dealing with on a CSAM, you give them some, they give you some. You trade them, they trade you. You get stuff, they get stuff, and then you collect it, right? It's like a baseball card collection, but it's pedos collecting this stuff, going back and forth. So there's going to be other children in there. And yes, feds absolutely can do that. I wonder if they're creating a case. All right. Big girl for life. Good to see you, my friend. What's up? All good. All All right, I'll try to answer more questions as we go. I don't want to keep stopping you guys.
Since March of 2017.
Hold on. Who else said something?
And is your primary assignment to this courtroom that we're actually?
Thank you,
Yes.
Summer Dawn. Shout out to you. I'm glad you subbed.
Are there policies in place for the use of any type of restraints during a felony criminal trial for an accused?
That's correct.
Okay, well, he's talking about the
And
restraints now.
how many felony criminal?
Let me tell you something real quick. This is important, Shelly. How late can you wait to take a plea deal? That day. So when July 22nd comes up, my friends, all right, and I missed you on there. Indy Isham, thank you for being a member for 4 months. Michelle, arrest Jenn Soto now for 7 months. We're at Redondo Beach for a member for a month. Bev Taylor. All right, they can do it right then, right on the 22nd when trial's about to start. They can come into court. They can go up, talk to the judge, and exchange a plea deal right then and there, guys. All right, I just want you to know that. All right, I posted the poll and I gave you a link, my friends. So if you just go over to my community page, it's on Guilty of Crime Post. You can go do that and fill out that. I just give you another link to it. Let's keep going.
Trials have you participated in as a court deputy?
The poll's there. I just gave you another link, guys.
I can't remember how many.
That's fair.
Oh.
What type of devices or restraints are available that would?
I sent
be
another
out of
one
the
too.
View of members of the jury.
Yep, right before trial, you can do it that day.
Each courtroom has two. One device is kept downstairs in the first floor, which is a stun cuff, and in the courtrooms we have a leg brace.
Thank you, Tiffany Blue.
How
Taro.
is a leg brace
Choo
utilized
choo.
by court deputies during the pendency of a criminal trial?
So a leg brace is essentially a long bar. It has 4 straps, and in the center there's a tab that you can
really
so
in Florida. Okay.
Sit down, otherwise the bar won't bend. So basically.
So now they're talking about the shackles. If you notice, Stephen Stearns, now he's shackled. His legs are shackled. They showed those on the floor. He's shackled. He wants to not look like a monster. Although once you see those images, I can't imagine people would think anything different, you guys. And I've told you before, pedos and chomos are the least people that do. The statistics on them getting write-ups in jail or prison is very small, because there's not children in a prison. And Just Josie, thank you. I didn't know if Florida worked that way, but Just Josie said they can take a plea deal in the middle of trial all the way up until a jury reaches a verdict. All right? So all the way. And what's up, Vanessa Maldonado? Good to see you, my friend.
What happens is when the person sits at bench, but when they stand up, it just locks. It prevents the person to run away. They would have to essentially hop away because that leg is stiff.
What is the purpose? Let me ask you this. Are there any safety concerns for you as a court deputy in this courtroom should a accused during a criminal trial not be equipped with such a thing as a leg brace?
Is MM Clar in here? Hey,
That's
MM.
correct.
Good to see you. Mwah.
When
Much love.
any inmate is brought over to the courthouse, they're restraints, handcuffs, and leg chains. When they're brought over for a trial, they are dressed out in proper attire, suit, and at that point, they're in the custody of the sheriff's office, and we have to maintain a level of safety and security for the inmate and as well.
He's not any harm to anybody in there, I'll tell you right now. And Krista, everybody say a prayer for Krista and show her some love. She's saying goodbye to her favorite creature from 5 to 10 p.m. tomorrow. So sad, but I'm not on trial. Yes, we're glad. Shout out to you. Much love to you. We know how that is to lose a pet, a creature, whatever it is that you're referring to. Much love to you. Maddie didn't get a plea deal. He deserves a death penalty. Agreed, Lala. They're not charging the death penalty in this trial. And that's why I believe they should just take a plea deal. They're not ready. It could go either way if something messes up. Them not being ready could mean that Stephen Stearns gets off. Okay, so I would much rather him get LWOP than for some little technicality to fall into place, and then the TBI information comes in and the jurors can't decide. Could you imagine that? Jill, shout out to you. Go get them. I'm on my laptop. Looks good. I can read and hear. All right, let's keep going. Love you guys. Thank you. Thank you guys for being my supporters for so long. Thank you. I appreciate you. It's humbling.
For everybody else in the courtroom. So that's the reason why we utilize those restraints.
Here you guys go,
Is
just
there
for that.
Is there limited staff here at the courthouse for the sheriff's office?
Yeah, so in a perfect day, the felony courtrooms will have 3 deputies. Misdemeanor courtroom would have 2, and civil would have 1. But due to staffing,
I want to answer you on that, Janet. The state is not ready because they said so. The state asked for more time. They only got the pictures approved 13 days ago, not counting weekends. The defense is not ready and the prosecution is not ready. I don't know why, but I'll tell you why I think. I think because they didn't know if the images were coming in or not, and there's thousands of them. They're just not ready. They said it. That's why. I can't tell you any other reason except for it's a big trial. There's lots of information. They got to get it right. They can't go up on the podium and start showing pictures to the jurors only and something go wrong or something glitch or them not have it right. They don't want to do that. Nobody wants that to happen, right? So that's why I say that.
sometimes people take off or they're sick, and there's it creates a safety hazard if we're running a high-profile felony case, just 2 deputies. So
Hey, my
that's
friend.
the reason why we use also the device.
Is this device something that is visible to anybody that is looking at the outer appearance of an inmate that's wearing it?
No.
Is this device something that delivers a shock or pulse of electricity or anything like that?
That's correct.
It does or it does not?
It does.
It does. When does that happen?
So, if I may, I have the device in front of me.
Would utilizing the device assist you in explaining how it operates?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
So, essentially, this is a stun cuff that's wrapped around a
Yep, they
inmate's,
did. It just
ankle,
changed.
and it's tucked away under the clothing. There are 2 metal pieces here that is close to the subject's skin.
So that's what Stefan's going to be wearing,
Strap
guys.
is placed accordingly and wrapped, not tightly, but
Thank you.
snug.
I appreciate
It
you.
won't fall off.
So that's what's going to be on his ankle, guys.
The remote is this right here, which is kept at all times with a deputy within the courtroom. Nobody knows who has it. It's hit.
And they're still failing her, guys. I don't know why this stopped.
To activate,
Maddie's still being failed right now.
It's a 2-step process. There's on, and then there's fire. So the device,
it's on his leg.
Fire on itself. It has to happen.
It's going to be on his leg with pants covering it.
Button to fire.
Hey, Carolina, good to see you.
And the device isn't triggered by movements of an individual or anything like that. Advised by court staff in addition to the leg brace that you described?
It's one or the other.
And there's a lot of them. There's a lot.
2 options that are potentially available to court deputies depending on the scenario.
Correct.
And both of these options are outside the view of anybody that is looking at the outer appearance of an individual as long as they're wearing pants.
Correct. So when we put these devices on the inmate that's scheduled for trial.
Isn't that what Sarah Boone got, guys?
It's out of the view of the
Sarah Boone got that
no one
on her
knows
leg, I believe.
that the person
Yes.
set for trial has it on.
Yes.
And let's talk a little bit about writing utensils. If there is an inmate present in court, are they given a writing utensil?
I don't know if she would do
Yes,
that.
they will. They get a flexible pen.
I don't know. Does anyone know that?
And those flexible pens are made available by court staff to individuals that are participating in the criminal process.
Yeah, you guys can relate that to Sarah Boone.
And what is the purpose of court deputies providing that specific type of writing utensil?
He gets a
Essentially,
flippy,
the pen,
a
it
flop
does
pen.
write well, but is used sort of for a safety purpose in the event that the inmate would like to use it sort of as a weapon. The pen.
No, Jen's not going to testify against herself, but she is subpoenaed to go to both trials. And if they subpoena to go through trials, she's the person that can connect the dots to what happened that night, when Stefan got there, why was there a tripod set up, did she know about the tripod, and on and on and on. All right, so she will not testify against herself. She's going to be a forced state witness, in my opinion. I don't think she wants to see Stefan go down, especially in my opinion. A lot of things were triggered by her to happen. Nah, thank you so much for the 5 guilty of crime membership. Michelle says, I'm worried that Jenn will chicken out and appear via Zoom. That could happen too. That could happen too because of her safety. All right, let's keep going. They're still talking about the weapon, and then they're talking about a pen being used as a weapon. That's why he's going to get a felt pen.
It's designed to fold and flex, as opposed to another pen or big
She
pen
is.
or metal
You're
pen
right.
that can actually be used as a more deadly.
All right, that's important for me to say to you guys. Jenn is absolutely, Anna Fleming is correct. Jenn is considered a victim as Maddie's mother. She has never been arrested. They do not have a case pending against her that we know of whatsoever at all. So if you're on the side of Jenn Soto didn't do anything, she shouldn't be arrested, let me tell you what now, she's not, and she hasn't been. So if you're a supporter, good for you. I'm not. Wolfpack, good to see you. Hello. Wolfpack says hi to Synth. All right, let's keep going.
Device.
It's a safety concern for court deputies.
Yep.
Yes.
She absolutely.
Can I just have a moment?
Of course.
We can do it for the second trial, Shannon. I'd love to go to the final trial for Maddie, the capital M case. I absolutely plan to go to that. This one, there's no way I'm going to make it. And does anyone really want to see that stuff? I don't. Yeah, so far, no accountability, but she is going to walk around with that stigma like Casey Anthony. She's not going to have an easy life, guys. Jenn Soto is hiding out right now, and many people think that she's just as guilty as Stefan, which I'm on that side. Millie says the so-called mother should have arrested a long time ago. That I agree with. She handed Maddie over to him willingly. You guys, when we hear all the stories that Stefan says, and again, they could just be stories, but when we hear that Maddie and Jenn would flirt with him, he'd come out of the bathroom naked with no towel, and they'd be on the bed flirting with him. What kind of mom does that?
For the purposes of this trial next week, what is the type of restraint that court staff deemed as appropriate for this?
A dog collar?
We will be utilizing the stun cuff, and actually this is a newer version. The older version is a much bigger.
Exactly, Jill,
box.
exactly.
This one is a newer one. So we'll be using this one right here.
Yes, Stefan Stearns in court, Lady for Justice.
Thank you.
He had some wins today, though. Bold demands.
Now,
he
you
won
talked
some
about
things.
the number of deputy or court personnel typically kind of staffed in the
Rack
courtroom.
bill.
Are you aware of what arrangements, if any, have been made in terms of staffing for this trial?
Here's
None
the
yet.
poll.
So you don't know how many deputies potentially would be or won't be in the courtroom?
That's a question above my pay grade.
He
I
gets
just
his
go ahead
pen.
and say
He
that.
gets a felt pen,
Understood.
guys. Here's the poll.
Now, you talked about two different devices, and you indicated the stun cuff is the intention in this case, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that because that's generally what's used in this courtroom, or because of what?
99.99% of the time, we always use a stun.
They always use that. Then why is
So
he
I want to
trying to
talk a
use
little bit
something
about
else?
the leg brace, since you did talk about that.
All right.
Now, this leg brace, this is a longer device. Like it's not as small as the stun cuff, correct?
Right. It's essentially a metal bar. It's pretty long and it has 4 straps.
And to your knowledge, is that comfortable or uncomfortable?
It is on the local news.
I would say rather a bit more cumbersome because it's strapped alongside
Damn,
the
really?
leg of the person.
Yes,
And if they
justice
stretch
for
their
Maddie,
leg,
guys.
it'll snap shut.
So essentially, normal movements could cause it
Yep.
to lock up.
I
As soon as the
agree.
person stands up, it will lock.
I can't wait till
And
Maddie
the
gets
stun
her
cuff, I know
justice,
talked
you
about this being
guys.
a smaller apparatus that goes
This-
typically closer to the ankle, correct?
Correct.
And depending on the type of pants or clothing that is worn by the person,
you.
that could affect the visibility of the item.
Thank you, Naomi.
Yes. So normally, male inmates will always have long pants.
Yolanda,
And the cuffs go right around it, so you really can't see it.
the queen snake, Yolanda. All
But
right.
the pants legs will have to be wide enough to kind of flow and fall over so it wouldn't be visible, correct?
Yes, and we always apply to the right leg, which is furthest away from the.
Thank you.
And typically when sitting down, your pants often rise, generally speaking, correct?
Wow.
Yes.
Really?
So if the pants are shorter, then the stun cuff at that point would be visible likely.
So he's trying to not have it visible, which, when I'm looking at justice for Maddie, I think this is a total unfair motion to even have. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they would have a defendant, any defendant, but especially a case of this magnitude where you would hide his cuffs. I mean, this is one of the most awful cases that I've ever covered, and it's probably going to be one of the most awful cases I ever cover. Hopefully, this case has just turned YouTube into a storm of, I don't even know. People are fighting over the case. This is just awful. Sin, thank you so much for the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. Jay, Toybox is getting full. Yes, it's from all of you guys. The Queen Snake, Yolanda. Love it. Yes, it's all of you guys. You got all my day one crime crewers that are my buddies. They send me these things. So thank you guys.
Possibly.
And those straps, I know we saw kind of like the strap that goes around. Where does the extra, so to speak, of that tuck in, or does it tuck in somewhere?
So when you apply this apparatus, it wraps around and then the strap goes through here, so it holds it down.
So similar to a belt, you know how when you use a belt and you have the extra, where would you tuck in, or where does that extra
part should go onto the most sensitive spot on the body. So if you make a move, zap, and you know what I'm talking about. You guys know I already told you what I feel about pedos. You really just should get a firing squad and just put that target right there and just take it off. They're just too light on pedophiles, and if they were tougher, we would see less and less. But because they get so far away from it, that's why we have it. Now, Gene P., I can confidently say to you that the DA has not offered a plea deal yet. I promise, as soon as I find out, I will be the first. You guys will be the first to know from me. All right. But I got to say, I think Stephen Stearns will take it. I can't tell you why just yet, but just trust me when I say that.
strap though?
It just remains there and it just folds in.
So would it be secured, or would it be kind of sticking out?
Just stick it out right. You would really
Zap,
have to look for it to find it.
zap.
Now, you talked about the 2-step process with that remote for the stun cuff. I believe you said it was an on and a fire, correct? So does that mean that once the stun cuff is applied, it's typically automatically in that on position, and then you just have to go to step 2 or something else?
Hey, Rebecca.
Well, The
Which-
apparatus is turned on, so it's always going to be on. But to fire it, you have to press the on button again, and then press fire.
Okay. And those two buttons are, I don't want to assume, are they next to each other on the remote? Or are they two different areas of the remote?
Yeah. So the on, then you would have to switch over to.
Thanks, faith and repentance.
So one
Appreciate
side is
you.
on and one side is fire.
Right.
And I believe you said that typically one deputy has it. Maybe between the three of you or two of you, depending on how many are in here, you guys would know, but none of the other court
Nobody
personnel.
knows who has it.
Just the person who has it, I assume.
Yeah.
Now, I want you guys to know, I know a lot of people are like, wait, you have to wait until trial's over or whatever. But Tammy, Gil, I promise you, I'm also trying to find out why, how, when, what was happening, what led up to that, what happened after that. I have very pointed questions at Stefan, not ones that would mess up, his trial, obviously, because he wouldn't answer those. But I want to know the same thing. I want to get into that brain and find out. You can find things out by asking questions that are not so direct, like, hey, what happened that day? You can be smarter than that. And that's what we're doing here. All right. Why is she so worried about security? Who's worried about security? Jen? All right, let's keep going.
So you would know that you don't have it. And so if there's only two of you, by process of elimination, the other person would have it.
Right.
Correct. So essentially, when we do a courtroom operation, each deputy has an assignment. One is for the inmate, one is for the jurors, and one is for security.
And welcome, Naomi. Okay, I'm going to play I put that one first because there's two of them, and I'm going to put the transcript on the second one so we can watch the last part of it together. I'll just do it that way. That way you can see. All right, here it goes. I can't even hear this one at all. Let's go a little bit forward.
Alternatives other than the stun belt to allow.
You can't hear this at all, guys.
As well as accomplishing.
It's all the way up.
A concern regarding escape or proximity to
the case has been present, never received their trial proceeding. All right, there it goes.
Alternative.
Yes, it's a shocking device. It's what?
Never had an accidental discharge of the stun cuff.
Okay, they're talking about the stun cuff now again, and they said that the stun cuff has never had an accidental discharge. I played the words up on the screen in the transcript so you can see what's happening. All right, the Boo Crew says thank you, such a beautiful name. I appreciate the gift. All right, let's keep going. Clementine, good to see you. Wendy, good to see you. Everybody, hello. Let's continue watching this together, guys. I love you guys. Thank you for being faithful supporters. All right, if you need any kind of clarity, just let me know. I'm here to hopefully answer some questions that you might have if I can.
Visible to the jury. Before it has never been presented with the argument that the defendant was preoccupied by the wearing of the stun cuff.
He has not been offered a plea deal yet. If he does, he probably will take it. Yes.
Use of the leg brace, as well, has never received a
you guys.
Mr. Stearns will not have freedom of movement.
He won't have freedom of movement.
To the fair trial.
You can see the words here too, or there.
Mr. Stearns wear a leg brace that would, in the unlikely event that not be compliant, stand up and make an effort to exit the courtroom.
Why does he sound like he's whispering today?
The resources that are on hand and opportunity to understands that.
Yeah, and he does.
Considered on a case-by-case basis.
Thank you, Leanne. Appreciate you.
Visible, or it's not before received a complaint about the comfort of that particular device. The fact that Mr. Stearns will not be permitted to move about the courtroom anyway, the court can't find it.
And I'll stop this for that. What makes me think that he's going to take a plea deal, Dark Wizard, is because his defense is trying to talk him into saving all of the public. They haven't accepted, they haven't offered, but the defense, all sides of the defense want him to take that. All right. Both of his parents don't want to have to see that stuff. They don't want to read about it. They don't want it covered. They're pushing for him to take a plea deal as well. All right. Now, parents are Stephen Stern's piggy bank. And I'm telling you right now, nobody wants to see this trial. No one wants to have to go through it. None of the sides, meaning Stephen's side, defense, and his team that he's working with. That's why, because I see the messages behind the scenes going back and forth between Stefan and Deb. And I'm telling you, Deb and Chris are pushing for that so they don't have to experience or know about the sick stuff that happened to Maddie. They know, they accept the fact that what he did. All right. And yeah, it would be nice if he would plead guilty. They understand what he did. They're not in alignment. Nobody likes it. Nobody does. But nobody wants to go through that either. All right. At all. All right. Let's keep going.
That would be prejudicial in the court finds that a consideration of due to the layout of
Well, thank you. I'll take that.
proximity to the jury,
I got sun.
proximity to exit of the courtroom, and the severity of the allegations.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys.
Surely to be presented that a leg brace is warranted.
The leg brace is warranted. The judge sounds like he's whispering.
Implemented while he is present in the courtroom.
So he has to wear it in the courtroom.
Private area that can be. I'll address continuing concerns with
Annette, I agree, but in this case, I don't want to see the CSAM stuff. I don't want to read about it.
use the pen.
But we'll never really know. He can get a felt pen. Yay!
Be specific to Mr. Terms that will remain.
A specific felt pen.
Goes, he can't have the flex pen in the back if he wants to write notes while we are not.
All right, let me tell you real quick. I'm not always going to say a plea deal. I'm never going to say a plea deal every time. But for this thing, because he has 2 trials, MM Clark says no plea deals for life. Prisons are starting to give compassionate leave to older inmates, some as young as 55. The only reason that I want a plea deal in this one is so we can roll into the second one with the death penalty. If there weren't 2 trials, I wouldn't want it to be, because I would want to know what the heck happened, but I don't want to know bad enough to have to read those awful documents again about a little girl being, you know what I'm saying. It's awful, guys. It really is. And I don't wish that on any jury member. I don't wish that on any part of the family. I can't imagine Tyler or Tatiana having to see that.
Present in front of the jury, the court understands the concerns of the deputies, and I sympathize with that.
Yep. It's evil, guys. It is. You're right. Absolute evil.
Flex pen, it's different than construction.
Thank you, Chris.
Fear that it may create a question in the mind of the jury as to his.
I hope they fix it. Thank you, Denise Claudio, for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate you guys so much today. Oh, there it is. Look at the cactus peen, guys. Foxy sent me this. It's a cactus.
A whiteboard or TV for the presentation of evidence next week. So as to
it depends on who, Nath. That's the only thing.
As much as we can, the sensitive nature of
it depends on the family, what they think. I would suppose.
Logistically, I just wanted to bring it to the court attention.
Will this be on a card?
Yes.
What does she want?
What do you need from me?
Okay, let's see what she needs.
We can bring it up when we intend to use it. I just wanted the court to know, because I know
sometimes what?
The court is going to need to get down the evidence.
Okay, yeah, we need to get to the evidence.
Anticipate that we'll put it over.
It's obvious.
Closer to the jury so that
utilizing the white.
Is also
it's going in and out. I'm happy to fire the first office. Are they talking about using a whiteboard, I think? Which family are you talking about?
Is unlawful in and of itself. I am happy to
Now, you know what? I really want whatever the family wants of Madeline Soto. If Tyler and Tatiana and that whole side really wants to see a CSAM trial, they should let the family decide or the families decide. I'm just being selfish for me. I don't want to have to go through and read it. I don't want to get an accidental leak message, but it just depends. I'm not the family, so it doesn't matter what I think. I think they should go by what the family decides. Rebecca Michelo, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Awesome to see you here.
Provide the courtroom.
I'm happy to provide the courtroom
21st, if you want to wheel your equipment up.
on the 21st.
Folks do so.
Okay, so they're trying to get the equipment and photos.
The attorneys will obviously have an opportunity to move about the courtroom as they need to observe evidence. Mr. Stearns also has a.
Yeah, we haven't heard.
To view the evidence being.
See, there it is right there. He just said Stearns has the right to also view the evidence. So right now they're talking about the evidence, guys, and they're talking about how they're going to present that awful, nasty evidence to the court without everybody seeing it. So they're going to use a whiteboard or whatever they put it up on, and they're going to have to turn it so that only certain people can see it. But listen up, folks, the evidence that's being presented is also going to Stephen Stearns for him to look at. That I don't like. I don't like that at all, but it has to be part of the system, and it sucks. Nobody wants that. I think nobody wants that. He wants to view the evidence. He's already been viewing it. Tell me how that's fair that you get to look at an autopsy and a toxicology report and all the things that you did to someone. I hope in all of that time he's letting it sink in what he did to Maddie, and I hope he does speak up at some point about Jenn. Now, maybe Jenn wasn't involved, let him say that. That's not what I'm gathering, though.
Accommodate all of those competing interests to ensure that the jury has an opportunity to review the evidence that the state intends to present. Does the state intend to close the courtroom or request?
Okay, are they going to close the courtroom for the CSAM case? That's what he's asking. The state intends to see the anticipated sum. There are 5 counts. The state makes a determination. Yeah, they have to get all this ready on the 21st. All right. Chris Cutie says, glad you'll be at one of the trials covering for us. Your heart's 100%. Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, they're going to use a whiteboard.
Only individuals that have to view the content. We do not have a surviving victim testify in this case, so I don't know that we necessarily have a right to close.
Absolutely, Charlotte Bassett.
However, due to the sensitive nature of the material that is going to be presented in the form of actual videos and photos and things.
Videos and photos.
To utilize the whiteboard in an effort to prevent other individuals that do not need to see that.
They're going to use the whiteboard so people can't see it. I wonder how good that's going to work.
There are 5 counts that
good. Thank you, Foxy, for the $5 super sticker. I'll leave that up there for a second.
Determination that closure of the courtroom is warranted pursuant to statute. I'll ask that that's your intention. You present that in writing.
Well, he's not going to get root beer barrels on death row, guys, and he's not going to get hot meals.
I believe those are all the
But as I said, the court will make itself available for the rest of this week and on Monday for access to the courtroom if you have specialized.
You see how fast it's coming? Today's July 14th. They're talking about the 21st getting all the things ready to be able to support the trial, and then go time. It's only 4 days. All right. Mystic, member for 3 months. Thank you. Hashtag arrest Jenn Soto now. Yes, I want Jenn Soto to at least be present. If she's subpoenaed, so I hope that she goes. But guess what, guys? If there is a plea deal, she's not going to go. There's no reason for her to go. And I did put up on the post page, there's a poll so you guys could say, see, I was right. He didn't take it or whatever. I said, will the state offer a plea deal? So far, there's 101 votes. 57% say yes. 43% say no. All right, let's keep going.
Concerns, equipment concerns, please be proactive in asking in advance and resolving those issues with court staff prior to jury selection beginning on Tuesday, the 22nd. That'll conclude our hearing. Thank you.
I hope so. Arrest Jenn Soto. Yeah, this was awful. Awful.
Yes, Judge, we can provide those.
Nope, I didn't mean to do that, but there it is. That's okay. I shut it down. I just wanted to show you guys one more thing. I mean, as we ramp up to this, there's a lot of coverage on this here. Is this the one? Hold on. 13 at some sort to appear in court Monday, but Soto. Okay, I don't know. I think they're getting it confused too. You guys should follow. Hold on. You guys should follow Wesh. Let me share this real quick. Share screen. This was what was happening on Monday. You guys should follow Wesh 2 News. You can follow it on YouTube. That'll give you all the dates.
We'll be inside the courtroom when the man accused of killing 13-year-old Madeline Soto goes in front of a judge.
Stephen Stearns is facing 2 separate cases, one for the murder
Okay,
and another for allegedly raping Madeline for years. Leslie's Bob Payson is live at the Osceola County Courthouse, and Bob, Stearns could go on trial next week.
That's next week, guys. That's next week.
Yeah, that trial is set to start next Tuesday, a week.
So a week from tomorrow. And I want you guys to know I can't cover a case during the day. So you guys should absolutely go over to Grizzly True Crime. I believe she's going to cover the 4 days if they have it. You guys should go over there. Her audio's great. Her presentation's great, as you know. And I'll just recap things for you when I come on at 4 o'clock. But I absolutely am not going to be streaming the trial. I can't. I work during the day all day. And then I get off at 4 and I come to you guys. So that I just wanted to answer that question from you guys.
From tomorrow, even though his lawyers tried to get it pushed back. So today we should see if that trial date will hold or whether it will get pushed back. Now, the defense did take a major hit just a couple of weeks ago when a judge ruled that prosecutors can use evidence that was found on Stearns' phone in the sex abuse trial. That includes videos allegedly showing him raping 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Investigators found those videos while searching for Maddie, and she had vanished the day after her 13th birthday party. Stearns was dating Maddie's mom at the time. Kissimmee police believe that he killed her and dumped her body along a remote road in Osceola County. Today's hearing, though, is for that sex abuse case. His lawyers are asking a judge to let Stearns be in court without shackles and to use normal writing instruments. They also want him to order the media to follow court rules. But the big question today will be whether the trial stays on track to start next week. If he is found guilty of the sex abuse, prosecutors plan to use that conviction to boost their argument in the murder trial.
There you go. So that's the thing. That's going to be dependent on what happens in this trial. So if there is a plea deal, people might not be happy with that. They might say, hey, we're going to offer a plea and we'll give you LWOP, but we're not going to include it into the next trial, which I don't think that you should not include something like that. I think it's very, very important that the next jury sees some of those things or knows what he was convicted of. I don't think that's right. Now, Under the Mystic Moon says, I hope someone speaks up for Maddie, her dad, a grandparent, somebody. We haven't seen anybody under the Mystic Moon. And when I say we, I have a lot of people that I've made friends with in Florida that message me when they go to the courthouse. They tell me what they see. They sat in there and they say, here's what's going down. Nobody has seen any of those people at all anywhere. Now, Tyler Wallace can't even get to Florida. He doesn't have the funds to do it. That's what I do know. So I really do hope that for Maddie. All right, what do you think the motive? I still think that it was the only reason that they charged it premeditated is because she was asphyxiated, and that takes some time. I don't think that the motive was, I think it was maybe jealousy, either from Jenn or Stefan, something like that. That's all I can say. I don't know if we'll ever know. All right, Teresa, member for 2 months. So happy to be part of this great community. Thank you. I appreciate you. All of you. MM Clark, thank you for being here today. I know you rolled in late, but better late than never.
That he deserves the death penalty. At this point, that murder trial is set to start in September. Of course, it could get pushed back as well, but we will be in that hearing this morning at 9 o'clock here at the Osceola County Courthouse.
Thank you.
And let you know what does happen. Covering Osceola County live in Kissimmee, Bob Hazen, WESH 2 News.
All right, guys. So, yeah, we did the thing today. We got to listen to it. You guys got to see. I wanted to show you the evidence before, show you what happened before this so you understand why they're not really ready. All right. Jenn was jealous. She even referred. Yes, I do know that Jenn was jealous. And I have a feeling that there was a jealousy going on in Stefan with Maddie's some boy crush. But I don't know if that's the thing or not. But I do know that Jenn was jealous because guess what, guys? Your biggest fear is not going to be that your child runs off with your boyfriend if you don't already have something in place that you know. Yeah, and DRUGs, SEX, and money always lead to problems. Jenn let it go for the wrong reason. And for Maddie. All right, Maddie wasn't. No, she was not. I know. She wasn't. You guys, it's going to come out now. It's got to come out now because and I don't know if we're going to get a hold of the toxicology or the or any of that stuff, but Stefan has already seen it. He saw the cause of death. He saw the everything. He's been given that. And it said that it did not show her being, and I'm gonna even go a step further to say that they tested her for pregnancy and the box was probably checked no. All right. All right, now, can't Tyler and Tatiana seek victim assistance? They haven't thus far, though. I think they can, but I don't know why they haven't. Jen's a Gypsy's rage walking. What are you mad about, my friend? All right, Bratty, Stolen Spirits. Hello, Jay. Good to see you guys. Thank you all for coming in. Jay, you know what channel I'll be watching. I'm also Mr. Will J. Won't offer the plea deal until Eva trial. I say this through experience. Thank you. Thank you, Carolina. And I do know where you're watching it. Probably the docket. All right, I'm going to show you guys the poll. Summer Dawn says, yes, Jenn in her interview with law enforcement was watching her like a hawk. Not I was watching him. That's a good thing. Faith and repentance, you will get a gifted membership soon. I think Maddie started to wake up to know what was happening and probably threatened to tell him. That could be too, but that had been happening for years. I wonder what was different about it that night. Jack Stormer, better late than never. Hey, Crime Crew. Dark Wizard said, would Tyler accept donations? I've tried to do that, Dark Wizard, and the reason I don't think that he would is because there was such a debauchery of the GoFundMe with the Madeline Soto family that no one's willing to touch. No one's willing to touch anything about donations in this case. So many people have been blasted for grifting. That's one of the major things people are talking about. Oh, grifting, the grifting. So I don't think that he would. Yeah, Grizzly will be covering the trial. This cop looks like someone I know from Puerto Rico. He's a twin. What's up, Laura? Good to see you. She was a victim of circumstance. Justice for Maddie. Jenn was afraid she would lose her income as Maddie grew older. I agree with that as well. I think there's so many things. No jaggings in court, Jenn. She might do that just for you. Sadie's mama, good to see you. I hope that you're good today. Prayers for you all the time. All right. She wasn't M'd and Jenn has no clue. Huh. I'm not sure what that means. She was M'd and Jenn had no clue. I do believe Jenn had something to do with it. All right. All right. Mama Sage. All right, guys. You guys do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Take a look at this real quick. I'm going to show you the poll and I'll just show you my community page just in case you don't know how to get to it. If you don't normally know how to get to it. Let me go to my channel and I'll share it with you and you'll look at the poll. And then you guys can say, I told you so, Jay. I told you so. No plea deal. I voted not for a plea deal. I voted that prosecution is going to take or give them a plea deal and Stefan will accept it. All right. So here we are on my page. And then if you go onto my regular page, Guilty of Crime, and you check out my posts, you can see here, will the state offer Stefan Stearns a plea deal? 55% say yes. Out of 114, 45 say no. And then there's some comments. Let's hope they're not nasty. He doesn't want to take it, but his attorneys will talk him into it. He doesn't deserve a break, but Maddie's memory does. He knows he's cooked, so take a plea deal. This way, none of the jurors have to see pictures or videos. However, they may not. That's the scariest part. Unfortunately, I think so. Kells, yes, but only if he tells on Jenn Soto. Oh, it finally came by. They probably will. I haven't seen anything impressive come out of the Florida justice system in years. All right, guys. So there's the poll. You guys can tell me, I told you so, Jay. And I'm just fine with that. All right. I wish you would have told someone too. It's really terrible that it got that far. I mean, after the 6th or 7th year, she would have had a lot of damage and trauma, but she would have been able to recover. Everybody that's been abused has the opportunity, if they want it, to recover. And it takes help from people, from therapy, from whatever sources you can get. Is he in jail or prison? He's in jail right now, and he's all by himself. And I think he's just in there 23 hours a day. I don't think he even gets out at all, like not often, and they don't have enough security. So he's also in protective custody, guys. So if he wanted to go use the phone, they need 4 guards to guard him. That's how protected he needs to be right now. All right. So he doesn't get out to use the phones a lot or any of that because they don't have 4 guards waiting to help Stefan. I'd imagine they wouldn't want to help him anyway. All right. The PD heard Jenn Soto made the Woody Allen statement as well. Hearing her talk about sleeping arrangements, how could she not be charged? Pisses me off. And I'm going to say one more thing, guys, about this. It's interesting because every single YouTube creator that I've talked to or worked with since I started has been adamant about Jenn Soto being arrested, and including the people that are in law enforcement. Look at Duty Ron. Duty Ron has doubled down with Ed Wallace to say absolutely Jenn Soto will be convicted, or at some point they will charge her. Over and over and over and over. So many channels have said that. Are we all wrong? Or did Florida just get it wrong and they're not going to do it? If she was knocked out, those anesthesia rugs, memory, yep, turn off for seven, yep. There's trials like that where people get DRUG'd for years and they didn't even know it. Jack Stormo, good to see you, my friend. Justice for Sweet Maddie. Hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. If you take years before, you can give CSAM place and start loving. Absolutely, Nath. And everybody does have the opportunity if they can find the resources. I really wish that for everybody. I wish Maddie were still here and that she can get the help that she deserved. Thanks, Jay. I know how hard you work and your mods. We all appreciate it. So yeah, he wants to see the pictures again, and it's just sick. And I wonder if he's already got to see them. He won't because he failed her and feels guilty. Anyone else would walk there if they had to. But if y'all zoom out, Florida's corrupted. Yolanda has connections. Sad. And it's not just Yolanda and her connections. She does have connections there. I'm told from the locals that she has connections there. And we've seen a lot of the documentation. But there's a lot of corrupt law enforcement there. We saw that with Marcos Lopez and his wife and all of the team members that got caught and arrested for racketeering. So there's a lot of corruption going on. And Michelle G says, Stearns is cooked. You better take a plea deal. All right, guys. So this week we have a lot to cover. Please, if you don't get notifications from me, just go check out and make sure you're subscribed to all. We're going to be running all week long, new episodes, new cases, trying to help other victims as much as we possibly can. If you need to reach me, just go over and send me an email at guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. And that's for case suggestions. I have to change up my thing a little. It's hard to communicate with everybody. I can take case suggestions, but I can't always sit there and chat. All right. So yeah, neglect at the least. We've gone over and over and over and over what charges Jenn Soto could be charged for. And I think there's probably anywhere between 2 and I'd say 6 solid charges with the evidence that we have now. Guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. If you want to just say hello there, that's fine. But if you want a case suggestion, you want us to cover a case, send it over with anything that you have. Just say, hey, Jay, I have this person in my town, or there's this thing going on. Can you cover this case? Blah, 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 whatever. And I'd be happy to take a look at it, get together with the mods and do it. Like I said, a case a day, guys. Let's be the voice for those that no longer have one. And we do that with each other. So on that note, good night. I love you guys. Happy Monday. Let's take this energy all the way through the rest of the week. Together, we can do it. All right, guys? Love you. Hit the like, subscribe, get a membership, and share. Good night, you guys. Love you all. Yeah, I agree. All right, guys. Peace out. You know the drill.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?